Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Chatting with Chops. My name is Karen and I try and make fun and entertaining videos that might teach you something. And today we're going to try and make gluten-free vegan oatmeal raisin cookies. So let's get started. All right, so the first step to making these cookies is we need to take 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and put it in a bowl and basically mix it up a little bit. Now we're going to measure in 3 cups of gluten-free oats, which you can use the quick oats or old-fashioned, and they happen to be gluten-free as well. You're going to see me measuring in quite a few cups, but I like using 1/2 cup. It's just easier for me. So it just means I measured in 6 cups as well. And here you just want to mix it in really good so that when you go to pour it in with your wet ingredients, it's not just a whole bunch of oats and a whole bunch of flour by itself. I thought I'd give you a fun fact. Eating vegan basically means you only eat plant-based foods, nothing that is animal-derived. Next in your recipe, you want to put 1 cup, which is 2 sticks of butter in your mixing bowl. Of course, we're using vegan butter, which is olive oil plant-based butter. It's made by Shed Spread. And then the second thing you need to do in this step is put 1 cup of brown sugar in your mixing bowl. Another fun fact to share is to eat gluten-free, you're basically trying to leave gluten out of your diet, which is in most barley, rye, oats. It's in a great deal of like bread and pasta, anything that takes any kind of breading, like croutons, anything like that has gluten in it. All right, now you want to add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar to your mixing bowl. And at this point, you're going to mix the brown sugar, butter, and granulated sugar up until it is mixed well. Now is when you add in your applesauce. 1/2 cup of applesauce is basically the equal of 2 eggs. And that is this little 4-ounce cup of unsweetened applesauce is what I like to use. And you want to make sure you get it all because you want all of that goodness to get into your recipe. The next thing you're going to add is 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And I will tell you that when I'm measuring out vanilla, I have a tendency to be a little bit heavy-handed with it because vanilla just makes everything taste really, really good. So I have a tendency to just put a little bit more in there than you really need. And then, of course, I always end up checking the bottle to make sure I grab the right thing. Now comes the fun and rather messy part. You're going to add your dry ingredients into your mixer with your wet ingredients. And you're going to try and do it a little bit slowly so it doesn't make a huge mess. But a lot of times this can make a gigantic funnel cloud of flour that'll poof up and put flour basically on everything. So you're just mixing your ingredients together now and try not to make a huge mess. As you will see most of the time is what I do. So once everything's been mixed in by the mixer, you just want to get down to the bottom of the bowl and make sure that everything has been mixed in well. And then you're going to add your 1 cup of raisins, or you can add dried cranberries or chocolate chips or walnuts, or kind of pretty much anything that you want to add in your cookie to an oatmeal type cookie. Okay, so my family really likes raisins. So I added another 3/4 cup of raisins to my mixture. And I would just say be really careful how you do this and test it out first. It might be too much for your recipe, but it was not for this one. It handled it really, really well. So now that everything is mixed in well, you're going to start scooping out your cookie dough onto your cookie mats. I will admit that this dough was a little wetter than the oatmeal cookies that I normally make with non-vegan ingredients. So I was trying to keep these a little bit more spaced out. But once you have all your cookies on your cookie sheet, you want to cook them bake them in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. And like I've said with recipes before, just keep an eye on it. If you have an older oven like I do, sometimes it cooks them faster, sometimes it bakes them a little bit slower. So just keep a really close eye on them. And they should be a light golden brown when it's about time for them to come out of the oven. So I'll let you see how those look. All right, so they have baked for about 12 or so minutes and have come out, and here is the finished product. We're going to let them rest on the cookie sheet for about 1 to 2 minutes and then move them to the cooling rack. Once they've had a chance to cool a little bit on the baking sheet and almost kind of finish baking, we're moving them to the cooling rack so that they can cool the rest of the way. I will say that these cookies were a little bit more crumbly than an average oatmeal cookie non-vegan bake, but I think they tasted really great, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next bake.